Hello, everyone. Thank you for sticking with us. I think this is the final talk of the day. I'm Mikhail. I'm one of the founders of Protea. We do the world's fastest image and video generation, powering companies like Lovable and Pixlr and many others. Before we get into the presentation, probably want to do some housekeeping stuff. The Wi-Fi is on the tables. You want to log into that. We're going to be using a few different kinds of apps. So one of the things we're going to be building here is you're going to build an app that uses real-time image generation. You're going to be using Protea, Lovable, and Magnific. And you're going to make something that uses the power of real-time. And real-time really unlocks the ability to navigate the creative space versus navigating the prompt space. I think a lot of times when we're using image or video models, we're trying to figure out how do you make a better prompts, and you use that kind of for iteration. But sometimes, especially for me, it's really difficult to explain what I want to see. Sometimes I don't fully know what I want to see, and that becomes really expensive and really slow to kind of navigate that. And we're going to create an app using something we call Vibe Design that allows you to now unlock this new mode of being creative. All right, so you're going to want to do a couple things. You're going to want to open up protea.com, lovable.com. And just to make it simple, create a little GitHub here. You could either see the link here, or you can just search for Vibe Design on GitHub, and you should see it pop up. And what we're doing here is we created a little prompt.md file. And what we're going to, basically will save you the effort of trying to figure out what to prompt into Lovable to create this app. So we're trying to make it a little easy for you guys. We'll copy it in a second. You might be in the Lovable screen right now. You probably have to log in if you're not already logged in. So I'll give you guys a minute to do that. Is anyone having trouble finding the GitHub? No one? Cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy the file, just copy the contents, put it into Lovable, and let it start building the app. While it's building the app, you also want to go into protea.com, click on API, and you're going to get a login screen. I'm already logged in. But go ahead and log in and use the code Magnific, all capital letters, and you'll be able to use Protea for free. And while you're going ahead and creating these accounts, I know it's a little tedious. I promise it's going to be worth it. I'm going to go through what's in the prompt that you just put into Lovable, right? We talk about kind of the stack of what the app's going to be, and this demo is really going to be focused on product placement and maybe website creation, and we kind of tell it how the design should look, what's going to be in the dropdown, and then the prompt variation engine. We're going to want a lot of variation, and so we want to be a little bit more specific of different lighting styles, different suffixes, and depending the prompts and. Sometimes, the LLMs aren't as creative, so we wanted to kind of give more certainty on that. And kind of how the app's going to look like. And here we talk about all the different kind of style modifications so that the app can allow us to explore more of the creative space, and just kind of some more technical details. So and then it tells it, okay, and then don't forget to use the Protea API, otherwise it's going to use some crappy model and the thing's not going to work. Once you get far enough, it's going to ask you for your Protea API key. So at this point, you can go ahead and make an API key, just name it. And I'm assuming at this point, you've logged in, put in the Protea code, then you'll have access to create an API key. Yes? When you go to accounts, you go to manage. You should be able to upgrade. And the code, again, is Magnific, all capital letters. Magnific, all capital letters. Yeah. So we're going to create the API key, take it, and put it in Lovable. Now, you go ahead.
Just because
Yeah, yeah. You literally just go into the prompt MD, click the copy button, and paste that into Lovable, and then it'll do the whole build for you, and then ask you for the Protea API key. You put that in, and this is going to take about 6 minutes, so we're actually going to pause on this while this does the build, and we're going to go through kind of a little bit more history about how did we get here, how did we get to real time, where were we before, and once we're done with that, we're going to come back and finish the app. So let the agents do their work. All right, so we're going to walk through the history here of kind of how AI generation got so fast and kind of what we can build with it. So here, you're going to see 3 different models doing the same image. Watch what happens. The real-time model already did a bunch of generations. We can put it back on loop. Nano Banana 2 just finished one, and Nano Banana Pro is still going. That's the difference. You guys have probably experienced this in your workflow. Sometimes it just takes forever, right? When it's slow, you wait. You wait and you wait and you wait. But when it's fast, you start steering it. You're more in control. I want to talk a little bit about the history here. And there's a couple different eras that we went through. I don't know if you guys remember early on when DALL-E just came out. That was really the first transformation from GAN-based image generation to diffusion-based. And that was kind of the big unlock. Then we started to see the era of Midjourney. And that was a kind of style reference, SREFs, if you guys starts to come out. And taste and a unique kind of perspective starts to come out. This is 2022, and then we get the era of stable diffusion very quickly after, and the boom happens, because now you have an open source models, all these tools start coming out, control nets, and so on and so forth. Now we're able to kind of get even more creative. Then we kind of enter the third era, really. I think it was driven by Nano Banana. It's hard to remember that Nano Banana is only a year old at this point, and that was kind of like a massive leap in quality. I don't know if you guys remember kind of these first models, very kind of dreamy state, right? And the thing that hits me most about this is it took a long time. It took minutes just to generate your grid of 4 images, a batch of 4, right? And God forbid you put in a bad prompt. It's going to be so painful. But it was so cool. It was, for me, as someone who's not a good artist, the ability to create something that looks pretty good was just a huge unlock. The other thing is the cost. This is, roughly 20 cents per grid. It was not cheap. It was not cheap, and it wasn't easy. Then we enter the next era. We start to get faster. This is the kind of the stable diffusion, kind of Midjourney v5, v6, and you have an order of magnitude drop in cost, and now you get into, I don't have to create an image, go get a coffee, go do something else. Now I can actually maybe make 10 images in a minute, right? I'm starting to get more control over the creative process. This is kind of the next era that we went through. And now you have 1,000 images for $20. But you're still kind of in this loop, and it's not the full unlock. User experience changes once you get to the next stage. And in real time, not only do you have kind of an instantaneous feelings uh, of taking what's in your head and seeing it displayed right away, but you also have another order of magnitude drop in cost. Real time doesn't just mean fast, it means faster than you can perceive. You click it and it's done. 512 by 512. Yeah, yeah. That's how you, right now, how you get into the kind of the 100 millisecond range. And that's important because that is where you start to feel instantaneous. You know, this comes from kind of usability engineering from Nielsen, and they kind of give you the different levels. At 1 second, you can still stay in flow state. You're not interrupted, but it doesn't feel instantaneous. 100 milliseconds right is when it starts to feel instantaneous, and in 10 seconds you break flow. So that's kind of how we, think about the different eras. We went from this one, then we went to this one, and now we're kind of at the 100 millisecond level. We can look at it in models that are currently kind of in flight. With the Flux 2 Klein models, where really you get an image editing model sub 200 milliseconds, and that is what we're going to be using for our demo. If you look in the prompt, that's what was being used in the prompt. But you still sometimes need kind of higher quality, so you might go into the models that are still in flow, think of like a Flux dev type of thing. But oftentimes we find ourselves using kind of the laggy models, the Nano Banana 2 and the C-Dream 4.5, when we really need kind of high quality output. But it doesn't have to be that way. There's a way you can use both models to actually achieve a better result, and that's what we're going to be doing today. Okay. So this thing I'm really excited about. I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek here of, well, we've been talking about images this whole time. What happens with video? Video lags image by, call it 6 months, usually maybe a year. But we're just entering kind of that third era with video. And I'm really proud of our team. We were able to get beyond real-time speeds a month ago. And I want to show you guys what that looks like. If I could get this to play. There we go. And what's going on here is it's creating the videos, and you're able to steer what happens. Because it takes less time to generate the video than the output of the video, you're actually able to watch something we call infinite video and control it at the same time. Yes?
So is it taking the last frame from the previous video and using that as the start? Is that how it's...
Yeah, it actually, I believe, to get more fidelity, we use the last 3 frames. This is WAN 2.2.
Okay. So closed source models are less likely to get these speeds because they're less controllable?
We're trying to kind of take our technology to the closed source models, but we're only publicly able to optimize the open source models. Yeah. Yes. Huh? Sorry? This one? A WAN 2.2 Alibaba. I'm sorry? Happy Horse? Not Happy Horse. No. Not Happy Horse yet.
This is just with text to video. It's not like you can't get the
This image to video.
image to video. Can you do the streaming yet? Like if you wanted to stream yourself, but in like different environments and different scenarios?
We haven't tried it, but I don't see why not. That'd be cool.
That's what I want to try.
Yeah.
And have things that interact with you.
Yeah. I believe it's only the last 3 frames is what we're doing in here. I don't think you need the first frame for this. I'm sorry? If they give us the weights, we'll do it. Oh, I think I'm making the cardinal sin. I think I'm supposed to say what the question was. Otherwise, they can't hear in the video. Yeah. Okay, so I got to do that. I'm going to do that going forward. Sorry, internet audience.
I have a random question.
Yes?
What kind of optimizations did you do to get it to do this? Because I've ran it locally and it's not that.
So the question was, what kind of optimizations do we do to get it to do this? I wish it was a simple answer of one thing. It's many, many, many things. And it's not just the ML optimization side, it's also on the infrastructure side. So moving data around the internet is also very important. But if you want kind of more deeper understanding of optimization techniques, my co-founder is sitting in the back. Definitely assault him and question him and give him the hard questions. I want to see that. Any other questions? All right, let's keep going. All right, it's time to go back to the app. All right, let's refresh. Cool. It's being a little slow. Yeah, so you know what? I'm gonna go to an app I already built earlier. And here's what I'm doing here. I'm typing in a space launchpad because I want a product placement photo of space launchpad. But I don't know what should be included in a space launchpad, right? I want to put a jetpack in a kind of a product placement photo, but it's unclear how to do that. What are some different options I can have? And by just scrolling through, you see instant variations, right, of what is possible. Some make sense, some don't make any sense. This is Flux Klein. Super. You know what? What do you guys think about this one? Did anyone see something more interesting that they want to see a jetpack placed on? Maybe this one's interesting.
How come most of these are generating something that I would not consider to be even adjacent to space?
Yeah.
It's just like kind of random shit.
It's a good question. The question is why are we getting some random crappy photos for some of it. It's because some of the prompt appending is for more generic product placement. And the actual prompt that I used is very short, very small, just a space launch pad. And if you look at the instruction docs, there's like 30 different variations. Some of it's like an unpacking of a photo, so you keep seeing different variations of this. Yeah.
I like the chaotic part of it. It's good for inspiration.
Exactly, yeah. And you can tune this. You can tune this for different things. And you can even, so let's say we want to see websites. You really start seeing it with what about a space launchpad website look like, right?
That makes a little sense.
It's a more tuned prompt for this. It's not as chaotic. And the purpose of this is not to have a high fidelity version. The purpose is to get something close enough of, oh, I want this, and sometimes you can't explain it, right? But I don't know if you guys have seen something like this before. We call it vibe design. And again, the idea is, how do you navigate creative space versus just the prompt space? You saw how small and crappy my prompt was. And we're
It's like the equivalent of sketching.
yeah.
Like for artists.
Here we go. Okay. How about we use, I like the wood. I don't know why I like the wood. I'm going to go ahead and download that. Okay. So at this point, we are going to go to Magnific. We're going to create a new image. We're going to add the photo I just made. Oh boy. And then, where did I have the jetpack photo? Let me see, I was testing a lot of fun stuff before. There we go, a jetpack product photo. And I'm going to do simple prompt, put image 2 into the scene of image 1. And by the way, if you don't have a paid Magnific account, the code is Mikhail, all lowercase. We did this just to confuse you guys with all uppercase before. But if you don't know how to spell Mikhail, it's Mikhail. Lowercase, they give you 300 credits so you can start making these photos. I'm sorry? Oh, yes. So the code for to get Magnific to use the higher fidelity models is Mikhail, all lowercase, Mikhail. All right, so now we're starting to see some of these photos pop up. And the idea here was, okay, how do we find the scene that we want? We have our product photo. At first, we don't really know. If we went straight to the high fidelity model, we would have gotten a lot of results we don't fully like. We didn't maybe not know how to prompt. It would have been very expensive. Versus basically having infinite variation for almost free until we find what we want and let the high fidelity model do its work and put it in. So this is how you can go from spending lots of money to get to what you want to basically the highest expense is going to be in kind of something high fidelity. Yeah. And look, again, I didn't spend much time on prompting, and that was on purpose. If you did spend more time prompting, of course you're going to get better results. But the idea here was even with minimal prompting, how do we get something high quality? So, at this point, I'm going to pause for questions. I guess you guys have just been... Yes, sir. How do you solve for what kind of consistency? How do you solve for facial consistency? You're going to still have the same problems, and that's a function of kind of the higher fidelity models or your workflows. That still exists. This doesn't solve that. In fact, you have lower fidelity in the real-time models. So you wouldn't want to do these kind of high accuracy need use cases with this. Yes? So the question was, if you have a lot of different products, a lot of different SKUs, and you finally find an image that you want, can you use real-time to help you? And just to be more specific, when you say you find that one image, do you mean a scene? What do you mean by that? Okay. Let's try it. Now, this isn't real-time. What you're going to be doing is basically use object editing via the model. Let's see if a low-fidelity model can do it well. Let's not snow.
Which low fidelity takes image?
Klein. You can do image to image, yeah.
So it should be fast still.
Let me go ahead. Which image did you like of these? This one? Sure.
I haven't tried faces in Klein. I never tried that yet.
It works. There we go. Product photo of what do we want to replace it with? Socks? I don't know. It would be easier if I had socks originally in that photo. So this is going to be a harder one, but let's push it to the limit, whatever. And it's always wise to do this via live demos, right?
Does Klein let you give weight to an image?
No. Gosh, this is so small. There we go. We're going to replace the jetpack with the socks. We'll just make it faster. We're going to make it small. Cool. When you do multiple image reference, does take more time because. That's right. Uh-oh. Oh, one of the images is too large. Uh-oh. Which one is too large? No, it's the socks. It's 2K image of socks. This one's good enough. It's important. Oh no, it's WebP. Monty, do we take WebP? Oh. The jetpacks works. But we can keep iterating because it's quick. I did not expect a sock wearing jetpack today, but here we are. There we go. And you can do that at scale. Yeah, you can do that at scale. And this image, if you had a red version of this, would be much easier and higher fidelity. It'll be more accurate. We actually did something very hard, and I'm actually surprised that it did better than I thought it would. Yeah. And this, half a penny. Half a penny, 5 seconds. It's you don't need to use Nano Banana for everything. Imagine how many iterations this might have taken. Actually, it took us a few iterations. I think it's something similar would have happened while you're trying to kind of explore the prompt space. Great question. Thank you for that. Yes.
So why is it so much slower with 2 references? Like 100 milliseconds was the benchmark you gave us, right? Now it's like 5.5. So is it like 100 milliseconds with no references, like text to image, or?
Yeah, that's text image.
That's okay.
But image editing is like 250 milliseconds with one image.
Okay, but 2 images jumps it.
Yeah, 3 images would be even exponentially more. You even see that in the pricing. The compute time required does grow a lot. And it's not just compute time. Network latency is much more files. And I forget the specifics of why it's non-linearly scaling on them. Monty might know, might remember, but I don't remember why it does that. And for our internet folks, the question is why is it so much slower with 2 image reference? Yes, sir. Oh, I just logged into the magnific.com. Yeah, I just, I'll show you. I just went to Magnific, to the app, and then I went to create image. And I just created an image using, I think this is C-Dance 4.5, C-Dream 4.5. Yeah. You could, but I didn't want to add more complexity to this. Yeah. You could add it into your app. In fact, I'll show you. Something we've been playing around with. I'm not going to show it today, but you might say, oh, I like this one, and I like this one. And then you feed it into Nano Banana or a high fidelity thing. You could create that in your app as well if you want. You don't need an MCP, but we have agents.llm and all that. They'll understand how to use it, yeah. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Any other? Yes. No, not WebSockets. Just HTTP requests for each one. Any other questions, folks? Yes.
With the real-time video generation, what are the use cases that you have been considering?
It's very, yeah, I wish I had a good answer on the use cases for real-time video. There's a couple things we've been playing around with. You saw the infinite video concept. The other thing we've been playing around with is you tell a story, while you're telling the story, it creates the video of it. But we're still searching. If you guys have any great ideas, please shoot me a note, Mikhail@proya.com. We're really interested in more use cases for real-time video.
Is it up and live and able to be? Like,
Yes, there's an API endpoint for it.
tested?
Yep.
Okay, but like your playground for it isn't up. Like the one that was in that video or the GIF that you were.
Let me ask Monty. Monty, is the real-time video, is it on the playground or is it just API only? API only.
So like, okay, so I'd have to build if I put an app around.
Yeah. But it's easy. We have an agents LLMs that's text. They know how to use our API.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to say something, Monty?
Okay. Yeah, I got you. Thank you.
So what do you guys think? Do you think that real-time kind of vibe design would help you guys in your workflows? Cool. Any other questions? Yes.
Interesting use case that I tried not the live, but I tried the super fast WAN on the platform via API, and because it's actually really fast and the quality is not like 1080 or 4K, I found it very useful to drive CDANs from low quality video that I told it what to do, and then input that as video.
Oh, video to video.
Yeah, because if you think about it, like when you're doing motion control or something like that, if you have a character walking straight but you don't like that character or the face is weird, I would give it to CDANs and it would take the character that I want, map it to the walking character that I don't want, that was low quality, and then produce 720 or 1080.
And it'll take 5 minutes.
It'll
And
take 5-10 minutes, but I don't have to wonder, is the motion going to be right? Because I've already figured that out with a lower quality model.
very cool.
It's a very interesting way to save money on very expensive CDAN generations.
Interesting.
And I figured out, like, because I was trying to figure out how can you save money and drive with video, because I think driving with video is super important. Because if you want a character to move their lips properly in a way where it's like up close to the camera,
Yeah.
it's never going to be perfect with lip sync. You have to physically hold the camera and act it out. And I found that to be amazing.
Very cool. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, of course.
Well, folks, I know it's the end of the day. I appreciate you guys for coming here. Thank you so much. Hope this is helpful. And if you have any questions, please come up to me or Monty. We're happy to keep talking about it.